Good evening and welcome to Slam the Gavel, the show that tells it all regarding family court, other court issues, as well as CPS. I am your host, Marianne Petrie. This episode of Slam the Gavel is sponsored by CPS Protect Consulting Services. Child Protective Services cases are among the most frightening experiences any parent can endure. Don't face them alone. Face them with urgent assist by CPS Protect. You get the peace of mind to raise your children as you see fit and the personalized assistance of their team of expert child welfare consultants, former CPS investigators themselves, right when you need it. Get started absolutely free at cpsprotect.com/register and use the coupon code Slam the Gavel. And this is available in all 50 states. I'm so happy to have on my dear friend, Davey Walker from Sheffield, United Kingdom. He was last on season 1, episode 2, season 2, episode 26, and season 3, episode 55, where the last time we talked, he was getting ready to take his daughter on a trip to our New York City back in 2022. So I welcome you back, Davey Walker. How are you
Hi.
all doing? I'm so glad to have you
Good.
back.
Yeah. Like I said, a lot of changes since I last spoke to you.
Mhm.
Loads of changes. New York went well. Um, we, I mean, like, the thing I liked about New York is, well, the one thing I'm happy about is it was it was my life sort of the one place I always wanted to go. Like, and a lot of that, if I'm being honest, was down to the movies and stuff like that. I saw when I was a kid growing up, and I was like, oh, I'd love to see that, love to see that, love to see that. And I had so much stuff written down. I wanted to see like loads of different things. And Alana also wanted to see loads of different things. And it was great that I actually took my daughter, and there's a bit of irony, obviously, why we're talking, because obviously with everything that went on in my past with trying to get Alana, see Alana, and have contact with Alana, I
Mhm.
was then able to take her to New York City and experience everything I wanted to see. Probably the only person I probably wanted to experience it with. So
Mhm.
yeah, it was great. Um, and it's me and Alana are both very similar with like a retro thing.
Mhm.
Even though she's nearly 16, she's loves her 80s retro stuff and all the movies that are related to 80s. She loves it. Um, we One things I went to set out. I wanted to go and find the Ghostbusters firehouse,
Oh,
and we found it. It was great. Purely by accident though.
oh, that's good.
uh,
Well, hey,
yeah,
you said you ate at a restaurant that, I never heard of, but
Beetle House.
Beetle House. Okay.
Yes, Ninth Street, I think it is on Ninth Street. The I'm a big fan of like it's based on Tim Burton movies, and
Hmm.
I'm a big fan of obviously Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands. And when you walk in, it's luckily for me, I went when it was around Halloween, so a lot of the places were dressed up like Halloween. And I've always wanted to visit America at Halloween, um,
Wow.
and it was like, and the theme of the restaurant is it's Halloween all year round, and the the food was a bit much for me and Lana. There was a lot of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a lot of it. I remember we was given these burgers that was based on Edward Scissorhands,
Uh-huh.
and then they brought these fries out, and we thought she was joking, but she wasn't joking. I was like, "That's too much food for us," but yeah, it was nice, and it was like a Halloween theme in the restaurant, and it was expensive, but it's you don't go to these places very often, so
Hmm.
you do these things, and I
That's
was able to
cool.
see I was able to see the Empire State Building, um, One World Observatory, top of the rock. The one place because I was a big fan of the Home Alone movies,
Oh,
so I tried to find the hotel, and I found the hotel, and I tried to have a meal in there, but it said it was just for residents, which is a bit of a shame because I got an email saying I could, but we got inside, we saw things we didn't ever think we were going to see, so
hmm.
Central Park, all these things. So yeah, it's a great place to go. I enjoyed it. It was busy. I was very surprised at how busy it was. When people tell me to sit and never sleep, they weren't joking. They was not
Wow.
joking. That doesn't stop. That would it just doesn't stop. But I liked one of my favorite parts of the trip, and was we got to visit places like Queens and Brooklyn
Hmm.
and the Bronx, and I saw the Apollo Hotel where people like Marvin Gaye and Richard Pryor and all these people that I grew up what I loved watching when I was younger.
Hmm.
Um, and I saw that place, and um, I was able to find the one of my favorite films growing up is I saw Coming to America with Eddie Murphy,
Oh, I
and
love that.
I love that. I found the barbershop. I found where the barbershop's were. I was like, I couldn't believe it because I thought I can't leave this place without seeing that. It's one of the films I loved growing up, so couldn't leave without watching, just finding that, and I found it, and it was interesting. But I didn't realize how Brooklyn is so much more because I expected Brooklyn to be parts of it still is, but a majority of Brooklyn's quite upmarket and quite posh now,
Hmm.
and it's quite a beautiful place. But I also walked through Bushwick, which is where people like Eddie Murphy grew up, and Rosie Perez, and it was we saw the graffiti art and things like that, and I was amazed at the different costs of things as well because I love coffee, I love lattes and stuff like that, and I'd buy a latte in Manhattan, and it was like $15, $16, and nearly fell off my chair when it told me. But
Oh,
and then but when I bought one in Brooklyn, it was like 4, 5. I was like, right,
yeah,
massive
right.
difference,
Oh my
huge
goodness.
difference. But I loved it, and we also visited Denville, New Jersey,
Cool.
which is where my friend, well enough, he's moved back now. We caught him just at the right time because he he still lived there at the time. We visited him in Denville, New Jersey. We went around. It was a beautiful place, and it was very quiet. I was amazed at how much more quieter going out of New York City was, and it was so quiet and it was so beautiful. And it
Mhm.
reminded me of a scene from a family Halloween, like something like Hocus Pocus, whatever. It was all the Halloween decorations were out. It was beautiful.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
and we also visited we watched Bloomberg Financial Channel. Went in there
Huh.
and we watched a live TV show being made and stuff like that, and it was great, but it was fun. But what made it better was I was able to experience it with Alana, so it was great.
That's
So
nice.
it was
How,
fun.
how long did you stay in New Jersey?
We just had a day, but
Uh-huh.
it was me and Alana was like seeing things that we never ever thought we would see. We would
Mhm.
see stuff like the school bus because we see it in films and stuff like that. We're like, all
Yeah.
right, it really is a thing.
Yeah.
So, it
Right.
really is a
Yeah.
thing.
Over in England, you don't have school buses.
Oh no, no, you don't. It's you make your way home with her. You do. So yeah, and it's it was great. I'm not gonna lie, there's parts of it that like I was the one thing I did think, and I don't know if it's a New York thing or is it I don't know or is it American thing. I don't think they used to me being having I was trying to be friendly to people and I wasn't really getting that back, if you get what I mean. So
Mm.
a lot of people quite stern and you don't really speak to each other and stuff like that in New York. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, but to be fair, I don't think it's an American thing because it's the same like that in London and
Hmm.
and New York just felt like a big, big, big city until you started visiting stuff like um, you didn't get that. It was just a big city feel. I felt more America feel when I was in the suburban areas and places like that where you saw those things.
Hmm.
Um, but my hotel was literally right next to the Empire State Building, in Koreatown, and that their food is beautiful. Oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
lord, so nice.
Oh, I bet it
Koreatown,
was.
yeah, 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 and I was amazed at how nice their food was and how lively the people were in that area and stuff like that. And and the one thing we had was there was a rooftop bar at our hotel and we had just had a view of the Empire State Building. And Alana was like that's amazing. I was like, yeah, it is. So it was. I'm just glad that we experienced it. I would like to go to Chicago,
Hmm.
um, and see the what is it the Michigan, Lake Michigan,
Hmm.
and because it goes around into Canada, doesn't it, and all that sort of stuff. So that looks beautiful. Georgia, I'd like to go. I ain't got the money for all this.
Yeah. Well, you will. I bet you will go see that. I'm sorry they weren't so friendly. You should come down to Pittsburgh. Everybody's friendly.
I tell you what, I would love to go places like that because um, when I think of Pittsburgh, I think of people like Bill Murray because he mentions it in the film Groundhog Day.
Ah,
Um, oh, I'm a geek. I'm a geek when it comes to American films and stuff like that. I'm big time. Yeah, I'm a massive Bill Murray fan. So yeah, I know that like I do want to visit Pennsylvania because that's where Rocky was filmed, wasn't it? So um,
but that was Philly. I think Philly.
yeah, yeah. Isn't this Philadelphia? It's Pittsburgh and Philadelphia both in state of Pennsylvania. Is that right?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. See, I'm not an ignorant British guy.
No, no, it's no, because a lot of people think, and I've had this from other people who are Americans, say, Pittsburgh, and that's is that Philly, like they get it kind of confused too. So don't feel bad.
No, no, yeah. But yeah, there's places I was a bit surprised at how you would you would talk to people in the shops and stuff like that, and people were they just weren't very friendly, and it was very surprising to me. And like because over here they pride themselves on customer service, but from what I'm hearing, apparently British people have a reputation for not being very friendly. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, and
Um,
when I was there, everyone seemed okay. I never got, I don't know, put off. Well, I was put
you,
off by one old lady. Remember? I don't know if you remember me telling, but I was wearing like a brown velour shirt.
yeah,
And this
yeah,
old
yeah.
lady approached me. I was holding my like 1 year old or whatever. And she goes, that color, it doesn't become you.
That accent is funny.
I'm doing my best because the last time we
That,
talked,
that,
you
that
said I
accent was
stunk.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, she was an old lady. And it's like, so then I thought, oh, is it my hair? And I should wear brown.
No, yeah, yeah.
But
I see. London is like that. You'll find that the cities further up north are a bit more friendly. So, but I know that's just the impression. Even in England, we get that impression of each other. So, you go further north, the people are a bit more friendly for some reason. I don't understand why, but it
mm,
just is.
mm,
But yeah, where I move now, I said I live in Derby, which is my home city, and I moved up to Sheffield, and like I get like there's certain things. I was in a cafe yesterday, and then I ordered some food, and I said to my partner Rachel, I says, "How do I say this again?"
yeah.
So even that, it's only 45 miles difference, and the amount I'm saying, "Do you guys say bread cake?" Because I say cob, but so over there, you guys have bread roll. They wear bread roll, but in Derby they'll go cob, and people when I say that to people there, they go,
Oh
"What is
yeah.
that?"
Yeah, I was told the dialects change every 20 miles.
Yeah, it's you. There's certain areas there they'll say a barn cake or there'll be a something else, and in Sheffield for a bread roll it's a bread cake. Bread cake, strange, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
and you have like a little alleyway. You have the little alleyways that you go through streets and stuff like that. Well, where I'm from in Derby, we call it a jitty, Jity. But up here, they call it a snicket or a gennel. And I'm like, what's one of them?
Yeah, right. Well, it's like you have to relearn a new
That's what it is. I'm
language.
luckily for me, I still travel into Derby quite a lot for my work because I've got like I've mentioned to you before, I got made redundant in like January, just right
Mm.
around New Year time. And luckily for me, my job still kept me in the area, and I was still able to travel close to home and still go to my kickboxing club
Well,
and
that's good.
still visit people and still visit friends. I've got one of my best friends, one of my best friends called Mike. I have to literally me and him. It's a ritual we do. Um, we go kickboxing. It's not very professional. It's not very athletic, but we have a ritual where we go training for 2 hours. We'll do some sparring or whatever, and then we'll do a class or whatever, and then we'll go to the pub after.
That's
So
cool. That's how it
it's
should
it
be.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. We're humans. We drink beer.
That's right. That's right.
So and he's just turned 40, so that's why we're going to Liverpool shortly. We're going to spend a day doing just that in the pubs in Liverpool. And he loves it there. So he said, "Oh, can we go there?" And I was like, "Yeah, we'll do that." So yeah, it's he, I'm being told I've not really been on a night out in Liverpool, apart from years ago. There was a club years ago that I went to when I was like dance clubs and stuff like that
Mhm.
years ago. But I'm 42 now. I don't do those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it, I'm still able to see the people I was seeing before, so nothing really changed. So
Mhm. Mhm.
apart from the commuting's a bit far than I'm normally used to, but it's one of those things. If I told you what I commute every day, and I'm thinking that's a lot for me, but guys in America would be like, that's absolutely nothing. And it's like because you
Mhm.
guys are used to commuting and traveling far, whereas in
Yeah.
England, I think if I travel more than 30 miles, I'm complaining.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, when I was a nurse, it was 17 miles back and forth. And
Yeah,
so it's like
yeah,
I'd put in a CD and I would just listen to the whole CD by the time I got home.
yeah. You think to
Back and
yourself,
then, yeah,
how did I get home?
right. Yeah,
Like, how did I get home?
but
What
no,
happened?
I understand. I mean, the length of a drive, I get it. I don't like driving
Don't,
far.
don't like it. Yeah, I don't. I don't. If I'm honest, I only passed my driving test a fair few years ago because of my daughter. I never. Some people love driving. I wasn't one of those people,
Right. I
but
don't like it
I
either.
know.
Mm.
But I'm also a person who also believes that you want to see your children. You want to make the effort. You see your children. You've got to make the effort to go and see them.
Hmm.
So, um, and I wasn't going to rely on anybody. I wasn't going to keep on relying on anyone to take me to go and see my daughter. It was down to me to do that.
Hmm.
So I pay for her myself. I don't
It's
rely on anyone to.
expensive.
Pardon?
It's
It's expensive.
expensive.
So
Yeah.
I think I was explaining to Lana once I goes on about miles. I think I do about 8,000 miles a year just to go and get you.
Hmm.
So and over the years that adds up. So I said so, but it's my responsibility. She is my responsibility. It's just one of those things.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah,
Well,
but I keep doing it
so like how long, like driver's lessons and all that. It's super expensive over there in England to learn how to drive.
massively, massively. Because you guys have driver's ed, don't you? Something for school.
Yeah, yeah, we've got that. And then well, it used to give you a reduced insurance rate, but not
Yeah,
much. But
no.
yeah, we didn't have I mean, I suppose you could pay a teacher to drive you. I don't know how much that costs, but over in England when I was there, it was like around I think 200 and something US dollars.
Oh yeah, it per lesson now. You have an hour lesson. So some people have two. I remember when I passed, I had one because doing 2 hour lessons it just drained you. And I felt like I learned. I remember I finally got the clutch. Obviously, I believe it's a majority automatic over in America,
Mhm.
but we have manual. I drive automatic now, and it's so much easier.
Isn't it? Yep.
Um,
Yep.
so much easier. But I remember finally clicking with me. I got stuck in traffic on my lessons, and it was constantly clutch, change gear, down, clutch, change gear down.
Yep.
And I remember, and it's when it finally clicked with me, and that's when I ended up passing my test because it was something clicked with me that was something I struggled with, but
Oh
eventually I
yeah.
passed it. And but over here, you talking a driving lesson now. I'm being told that per lesson now, you're probably talking about 30 to 35 pound an hour, which is what about 45, $48 an
Yeah.
hour.
Hmm.
Um, so that's a lot of money. And
Oh
if you
yeah.
want and and some people don't pass straight away and they are, and I think over here at some point I think they're talking about introducing you need to have a minimum at least 100 hours lessons before
Oh
you're even
my.
allowed to take your test.
Whoa.
So I think that I see why they're doing it, but you're trying to reduce the accidents on the road, but you're always going to have accidents, unfortunately.
Hmm. And then your
So
daughter has to take lessons. Like, well, when does she start? I mean, I'm not a fan of driving. Like you said, I hate driving
no,
too.
she wants to do it. I've already spoke to her because she's a massive fan of the Tesla
Oh
car.
yeah.
And I was explaining to her, yeah, they look nice, but I don't think they're economically helpful yet. I said, because you can only have much charge on them, and you're going to be charging it every half an hour.
Right.
But she wants to go in a Tesla, and I'm for a 16th birthday. I think I'm going to pay for it to have a go and go from
Hmm.
there. And I think she's the type of kid who will want to pass a driving test and be that sort of independent, be able to go where she wants. So,
Hmm.
and I'm happy she's like that. She's a fiery one,
Uh-huh.
very fiery. Her and her mum do clash, but she does love her mum. I know she loves her mum because she talks. I don't need to, like I said to you before, I don't need to get involved in all that.
Hmm.
Um, I help occasionally if Alana needs a talking to,
Hmm.
um, but I try not to get involved in their situations as much as possible.
Hmm.
I've been told off for doing that before by my partner. She's like, "You're just setting up yourself up for a fall."
Hmm.
I went, "Yeah, probably am." So I've sort of pulled back a bit now, and I'm like, "It's not really helping me, and it's not really
Hmm.
helping the situation." So I don't want to be perceived. It's not me trying to be selfish or anything. I just don't want to be perceived as the bad guy. I want Alana to be able to come to me and go, "Right, Dad, can I come?" Blah blah blah. So
Hmm.
yeah, but she's she gets on very well with my partner. She gets on very well with my partner's son. Um, Even to the point where there's times when we just leave them there and they're just talking there together and watching TV together and whatever. It's great. So, and it's a refreshing change because
Yeah.
when I was in a relationship for a while when I was in Derby, and it got sour, and her son wasn't very, he was older than Alana, and he ended up being not very nice about Alana.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
and I don't really take too kindly to that. So I was
Right.
just like, it caused friction, it caused an atmosphere between me and her. And the irony of it is she was there most of the way when I was in that courthouse trying to get my daughter back. But
Hmm.
I think it ended up having a bit of bitterness towards the end of it.
Mm.
And so, but to be honest with you, I'm looking forward now. I don't need to look back at that person, that relationship. I'm in a relationship now with someone who does everything that she can for me, everything she can for my daughter and a son. And so, yeah, I'm like it. When you get to a certain age, you've just got to realize, stop looking back. So, um, and now Alana's 16. I'm looking forward to it. She keeps on telling me she wants to have her first drink in a pub with me,
Ah,
and
now that's at age 17, right? They're allowed to drink at 17.
well, there's a law actually. It's quite an interesting one. They're allowed to go into a pub on their own when they're 18 and have a drink. However, when they're 16, they're allowed to go into a pub with a family and adult and have a meal and have either I think it's a cider or a beer or a wine or something with a meal when they're 16.
Mm-hmm.
And she's told me that I'm doing that. Okay,
Oh, you're doing that.
I'm doing that. Yeah. So she's told me that I'm doing that. So, but yeah, it's she's she's growing up fast and she's taking her exam soon, but she's going to college. She wants to do. I love the fact that she wants to do film and stuff like that because that's what I did at university. I and from a dad's perspective, you always want your kids to be better than you.
Right.
Um, and I've always said, and I see it. And the interesting thing is, I was explaining to her because when I did film production, Lana, like 20 years ago,
Hmm.
technology is different today.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
20 years ago doesn't sound a long time. I think I started university in 2001, and we're still using tapes and other stuff, tape recorders and stuff like that. Like, and I was now you don't need to do that. You can do all sorts on your phone, and it'd look better. And then I was explaining to her, goes, now I can help you. She's always asked me advice about stuff. And I remember going through all my stuff and I felt like, oh, with editing books and film books and stuff like that. And and I gave them to her. And I said, well, I don't know how much use they'll be to you because technology is different today.
Hmm.
Isn't that crazy how it's only 20 years ago, but
Yeah.
the technology is so much different today. I still remember dial up internet and I was explaining dial up internet to Alana and she was like, that sounds horrible. And yeah, it was. But
Well,
it's all we had. It's
yeah,
all we had back then.
right.
So
with the technology. Everything changes, it goes fast, and she'll pick up on it really easy. All these kids do.
Oh yeah, I'm amazed at how good she is at certain things.
Hmm.
Like how good she'll talk to me about stuff. And I don't know what that is, but please tell me. Um, and she'll talk to me about it, and she'll send me videos that she's done, like editing and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's really amazing. That's really good. I've not done anything anywhere near that good, and she's only
Wow.
15. So I'm happy that but I'm sort of honest with her as well. I said because I tried to sort of make that sort of life plan for myself down in London years ago when I was with a mum, and I realised how tough it was to break into that industry because you could have the best degree in the world, you could have the best um,
Mm,
qualification in
yeah.
the world, but they'll still treat you as a newbie. You've got to start from the bottom and work your way up.
Hmm.
So, I was explaining that to her because just you could be the best in the world, but you still got to walk in there and expect to work your way up. So, unless you're very lucky. So,
Right, right.
and she's fully taken that on board. So,
Oh, that's good.
um,
Well, she's
so
ambitious. That's great.
she is. I was very proud of her though because there was something she changed her mind, but she was prepared to go to a school away from her friends, like a college away from her friends, like travel into this one college because it had the one course that she wanted to do. And I was proud of the fact she was. I was nervous for her because it was she would have to travel from home. I would say about 20 miles away from her house every single day to get to college, and I was nervous for her, thinking, "Are
Mhm.
you sure you want to do that?" Luckily for her, that she ain't going to be able to go on that course for at least a year or two.
Mhm.
So she's going to stay at home for a couple of years and go to a local college, and then she's then going to go on to that.
Oh,
So
that's good.
yeah, so she's a bit of a diva. She has her strops and stuff like that, but she's occasionally she'll show me that she's got red screwed onto a standard.
Yeah.
So so
Yeah.
I'm happy that she has the way. So
Because
yeah.
over,
Um,
yeah, because over in England, you start college sooner than,
you what it is, it's known as tertiary education. College college over here is university. So
okay.
you've got like you will start over here, you'll go to secondary school, but our secondary school over here, it's all changed actually again over the past few years. Apparently now you have to stay in education till at least you're 18.
Hmm.
Whereas before you could like when I was a kid, it would be 16. You'd leave when you're 16 and you could either go to college or get a job. It's up to you. It wasn't mandatory.
Mm.
Now you can either go to sixth form after you finish at 16 years old. You can either go to sixth form or you can go to college. And then
Mm.
once you finish one of them, if you want to go to university, which you guys call college, you can do. I didn't go to university until I was like 19, 20,
Hmm.
which obviously you guys call college. Um, like I remember doing my exams and breaking my leg and it wrecked all my
Mm.
results and
Yeah.
it completely distracted me. So and I sort of explained this to Lana, it's okay to start again because I started again on a couple of occasions and it worked out. So
Hmm.
but yeah, she's a bright kid, and there's things it shows me this things she can't do. That's what I can't do everything. You can't do everything. No one can do everything. But she's one of these
Right.
kids who beats herself up. That's one thing she needs to probably learn. She beats herself up over things that she can't do, and it stresses her out. I'm like,
Mm.
you can't do everything. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So
Yeah.
it's and she's now got to an age where she wants to spend more time with her friends, and she's got a prom in July,
Oh.
and it's all coming fast, and it seems a far cry away from when I was vying for her in court and stuff like that to just see her as a tiny little kid that she was, and now she's like
Hmm.
fully grown woman almost, and like going to proms and wanting to go to the
Oh, yeah. What
pub.
happened?
She said to me that she actually said something to me, and she's like some of my best times, and I was like, does this make me a good dad or a bad dad? Like one of my favorite times you were spending time in a pub with you. I went, right, okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
What about New York City? What happened to that?
Yeah. Change the subject. But she said that she says we need to go back when I'm a bit older, and she says because we couldn't go in the pubs because I was too young. I went, yeah, that's fine. I said, yeah, I understand that because, but it didn't matter. I wasn't over there to go to the pubs. I was over there to visit things. I says it wasn't so, but that's the one. She sort of she likes, but I grew up doing that when I was younger because my stepdad and my stepdad used to play like Sunday league football and stuff like that. You guys call it soccer, Sunday league football, and I grew up and I used to go with him and watch him because my dad wasn't really around. I used to watch him, and we used to go to the pubs afterwards, and with all the team meet up and people that eat food, and obviously that was just the way of life. Wasn't anything wrong with it. It was just the way of life, and it was almost like a football sort of way of life. That's what my city was like in Derby. Obviously, it's soccer, as you guys would call it. It was football was sort of ingrained into us at such a young age, and that sort of way of life, and a lot of that you have pubs and stuff like that. So, and weirdly enough, Alana seems to enjoy all that. So yeah, it's great that we've got that thing that we like together.
That's
So
good.
yeah, and last night we was up. This might sound a little bit geeky. Last night we was up. We got up at 1 a.m. last night or this morning, as you'll call it, to watch wrestling, WWE wrestling, um, and to watch an event. She's got into that with me, and we watched that till 5 a.m. It was on for 4 hours. And I remember talking to her about it because yeah, when I was a kid, I used to get up really early to watch these events with Hulk Hogan in and stuff like that. And it's great that she's always following some of the things that I do. So and it's great that I get to share that with her. It's almost like I didn't really share that with my dad when I was younger because he wasn't really around.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's great the fact that I was able to share that with my daughter that I wasn't able to do with my dad. So it's great that I get to do that.
Oh, I'm so
So yeah,
glad. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
things are moving
it's
right
good.
along. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I say, apart from a bit of a bump earlier in 2023 with the whole redundancy thing,
Mm-hmm.
that like I said, that was very stressful. My job now is stressful. It's busy. It gets busy, but you've got to learn ways to switch off and keep going with your life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and tell lies and say that my mental health doesn't get affected sometimes. I'm not gonna sit here and say that
Mm-hmm.
I don't get stressed and anxiety sometimes and angry sometimes because I do like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got to find things that because I've been told I've got a bit of a quick fire temper when I get stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's just a case of you got to I do this is why I do kickboxing. It's probably the one thing that I can sit there
Mm-hmm.
and do and switch off. Even though I'm
Right.
doing it and sparring people switching off, it's my way of switching off. It's my way of going, right, this is sort of my time, this is what I'm doing now. So it's
Right.
the one thing I do. And Alana's got her things, my partner's got her things, her son's got his things, and it's about doing that, and that's what I do. And when I still see like I don't go on Twitter as much as I used to. I think I said that too. I don't go on it as much as I
Uh-huh.
used to. That's one of the things I found all these people who were going through all this. And it was one of the things, and I was able, and I feel bad sometimes because I don't go on as much as I used to, because there's still people out there suffering with it, it's still people out there going through it, it's still people struggling with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I know they are, and occasionally and I don't go on it as much, but occasionally I still see people on the LinkedIn format and other things, and I'll make the odd comment saying, "Look, don't just give up on it." I said because you'll get it in the end. You'll get there. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
I was going through them times when I didn't ever think I was going to get to see my daughter again. I actually thought at one stage I didn't think I was going to.
Mm-hmm.
When like allegations were thrown at me, I'm not going to sit here and say I was always positive because I wasn't. I wasn't always positive. I was at one stage. I actually thought I was going to lose my daughter. I actually thought that.
Mm.
So, and I didn't because I kept on going. Even though it was difficult, I kept on going. And so yeah, it's just a case of finding things to keep yourself focused and keep yourself occupied, but still, it's almost like your mental break. You give yourself a mental break,
Mm-hmm.
and you give yourself something to stimulate yourself more. I was talking to my partner yesterday, and I've always wanted to learn how to play the guitar. I can't do it. I'm not musically minded whatsoever, but it's just something great to have and to be able to do, and just to give yourself something to occupy yourself. to do something else, to give yourself another passion.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean? It's to give yourself something to do in life. And so that is something I think of doing. I think a dad knows how to play guitar, so he said he'd learn to teach me. So I was like, okay, cool. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's just very painful. I mean, once you get
on
past
your
the
fingers,
pain
I'm
on your
told. Yeah. Oh God, I think I might
you,
play chess instead then.
oh yeah, I love my chess. I love that, and I even bought like the ukulele, and I bought a tenor ukulele. Your daughter
Yeah,
might like that because it's easy to play, it's easy to pick up, and you've got a lot of teachers on YouTube to teach you. So
yeah,
it's
that's
like
good.
ukulele's fun, and it's not painful on the pad
No,
with your little fingers, you know.
so my partner can play the violin. She did when she was younger. So she
Mhm.
could play the violin. She told me that she did all these lessons and stuff and got to really good level. So I was like, oh, that's really interesting. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I can see that you like guitars. I can see them in the back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't play as much as I used to
Yeah,
because when all my stuff happened, then it was like ugh, it took
you
everything out
stop.
of me. Yeah. I mean, because
How is that going for you now? Is it effing going okay, or is it any
yeah,
improvement? Or
things are a lot better than they were. Court is over with. It has been, thank God, for about 2 to going on 3 years.
yeah,
So, everything's going good. I still, talk with my two boys. My daughter will not speak to me, but that's okay because that's in God's hands,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So in
yeah,
time, but I mean, hey, we're moving along and everything as far as I'm concerned is great.
yeah. That's fine.
Yeah,
I understand. Yeah,
yeah, and like you said, keep busy, do things to get your mind off of, because when your job,
that's what it is. Yeah,
yes, yes.
you've got to keep busy. You got to keep mind focused because you can't, like you say, you got to.
Mhm.
I'm not going to say trust the system because you can't trust the system,
No.
but you got to let life lead the way, so to speak. Um, do everything that you can do to ensure that you're doing. Keep knock. There's a phrase I like to use. Keep knocking on that door.
Hmm.
Um, and I've always keep saying that phrase. Keep knocking on that door. It may be hard, but just keep doing it. Um, and but in the meantime, you can't let yourself go. You can't let yourself go to pot. I'm not going to say that I didn't do that at one point because I did. I let myself get to that point, and there's still times when I don't see my daughter, it upsets me a little bit, or I miss her or stuff like that, and I
Hmm.
still have those worries. But you know, it's just every now and every now and then I just say to Alana, look, just text me or let me know that you're there. That's all I need to know.
Right,
That's it.
right,
Just let me know that I'm in your mind. That's
right.
it.
I
And
could,
that's enough for me. I'm not asking her to change a life. I'm not asking to stop a life for me. I'm not asking her to do that. I just need to know that I'm in her mind and she's still thinking of me. That's it. So
right,
that's enough for me.
definitely. Yeah, because my middle son has a motorcycle now, and he's
Does
like
it?
22, and it's like, oh God, So I always say, text me when you get home, just so I know you're okay. Just say you
Yeah.
got home. That's all I want to hear. You
Yeah.
know, but
I'm 42 and my mom still does that.
oh well, see that this is how it is. When you're a parent, all you do is sit around and worry.
Yeah. Never stops, does it? Never
No,
stop.
no, and then
You, your kids are there for life.
and my youngest, he's getting married in June, this June.
Wow. Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, so we're looking forward to that. And she's a lovely girl. She's beautiful. She looks just like Katie Holmes. I'm not kidding you.
Really?
Yeah, you look at her, it's like we're looking at Katie Holmes.
Yeah.
And she's wonderful. She's got class. She's stunning. She has the same taste as I do. You know, we all get on really well.
That's good.
Yeah, so I'm happy, very happy with her. And he's also known her for like almost 4 years. So it wasn't something that
Yeah.
happened real fast. It's taken its time, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. I'm glad that's going well.
Yeah. Well,
It's
hey, go ahead.
glad that's going well.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to keep you all afternoon because right
No,
now
that's okay. That's
it's like
okay.
what? It's like
Like
one
I say,
o'clock there.
I've got to travel across the Peak District over the next sort of couple of hours. So it's it's a beautiful place. If you ever come over here, visit it. It's nice. It's close by. If you ever get the chance, have you ever heard of Bakewell tart?
No.
There's a thing called Bakewell tart, and it is one of the most delicious things you'll ever taste. And it comes from a little town called Bakewell, and it is one of my daughter loves it, especially at Christmas. It looks like a Christmas card. It's beautiful, beautiful
Oh,
place. So if you and that is a serious recommendation. If you ever get the chance to come over to the UK, visit the Peak District, but specifically Bakewell or another place called Castleton that me and my partner like as well. Two beautiful places. So
okay.
Bakewell and Castleton, beautiful. You'll love it, and have a Bakewell tart. You'll thank me forever.
Oh, definitely. Well, yeah, because I was eating peach melbas over there, and I thought that was great.
Yeah, Bakewell tart. Yeah, that is that put like there's a little joke in we haven't where I live now, and like my partner goes pudding, love my pudding. I'm like, yeah, you love your Bakewell. I bought her a Bakewell tart, and she looked at me as if to say, I can't believe you done that because I'm trying to eat healthfully, but I knew she was going to eat it.
Oh, cool. Like, what's in it? Is it just like strawberry
It's
stuff
got
or?
it's got like a strawberry almondy taste, and it's
Oh,
got icing over the top, and it's got a cherry
oh,
right in the middle.
oh my gosh.
Cherry Bakewell.
Okay.
So if you
That's
ever get the chance to come over, visit Bakewell. It's in the middle of England in the Peak District. Beautiful place, really nice. Yeah,
very good. Well, hey, don't jump off. Oh, if anyone has any questions, do you want them to come through me?
come through you. Yeah. Thank you.
Most definitely. Well,
I'm not on social media as much as I was, so yeah, definitely come through you. Yeah.
okay, well, don't jump off. Slam the
Oh,
gavel.
okay.
Slam the Gavel's a podcast to help the public understand what really goes on in these family courtrooms. I'm your host, Marianne Petrie, author of Dismantling Family Court Corruption, Why Taking the Kids Was Not Enough, and Cry Out for Justice, Poems of Truth, and Raised by These Wolves, How Family and Federal Courts Are Failing Our Children. Join us again here in the future with Davey Walker from Sheffield, UK, and other exciting guests. You can find me on Spotify, YouTube, Apple iTunes, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, and platforms I don't even know about. And feel free to buy me a coffee to keep this podcast going. Thank you so much, Davey Walker from across the pond.
You're welcome.